Imagine a little girl no older than 7 sitting on an ornate throne in the middle of an ancient palace. Her eyes lined with coals stare unblinking at the hushed devotees bowing before her. She does not smile. She does not fidget. She is not an ordinary child. She is a goddess. This is the Kumari tradition, one of the world's most enigmatic and spine-chilling religious customs, still alive in the heart of Nepal. But beneath the grandeur, the saffron robes, and the ancient rituals lies a world of secrecy, sacrifice, and mystery. What does it mean to be a living deity? What happens when a goddess turns human again? And most of all, why does this tradition persist in the modern world? The search for the next Kumari is no ordinary selection. The chosen girl must belong to the Shakya caste, exhibit the 32 signs of perfection, eyelashes like a cow, a body like a banyan tree, a voice as soft as a duck's, and more. Then comes the real test. In the dead of night, the little girl is taken to the Talahu temple, where she must walk alone through a courtyard filled with severed buffalo heads. The air is thick with the metallic scent of blood, the echoes of tantric chants rising around her. A man in a demon mask leaps from the shadows, testing her fearlessness. If she so much as gasps, she is unworthy. Only the bravest, the most emotionless, can become a goddess. The chosen Kumari does not return home. She moves into the Kumari Gar, a palace in Kathmandu's Durbar Square, her every need tended to by attendants. Her feet must never touch the ground. She is carried everywhere. She cannot cry, cannot laugh, cannot play with other children. Visitors arrive daily, offering prayers, pleading for blessings. A single change in her expression is enough to be interpreted as an omen. If she frowns, it is bad luck. If she sheds a tear, disaster looms. Yet, the most chilling truth? She is not allowed to bleed. The moment she sheds blood, whether from an injury or her first menstruation, her divinity vanishes. She is no longer a goddess, but an ordinary mortal. And then, she must leave. Many ex-Kumaris struggle to live normal lives. Some say they have trouble speaking after years of silence. Others cannot adjust to a world where they are no longer divine. Some former Kumaris claim to have seen things, shadows watching them at night, voices whispering secrets only a goddess should know. A few speak of a presence that never leaves them, as if something still lingers within them. And then, there are the ones who disappear. There are stories of ex-Kumaris who have vanished, their whereabouts unknown. Some say they live in exile, unable to integrate into society. Others believe darker forces are at play. A particularly unsettling case is that of a Kumari from the 1800s who was said to have been taken by the goddess herself, simply vanishing one night, never to be seen again. Even today, the corridors of the Kumari Gar are said to echo with footsteps at night, though the palace remains empty. Despite the eerie mysteries, the tradition of the Kumari continues. Tourists flock to catch a glimpse of the living goddess. Devotees still bow, whispering prayers for prosperity. And in a quiet home somewhere in Kathmandu, an ex-Kumari sits in silence. A candle flickers in the dim light. Her eyes, once worshipped, now lost in the distance. Does she miss the throne? Or does she fear that she was never meant to leave it? The Kumari tradition is not just a religious practice. It is a story of power, innocence, and sacrifice. A child raised to be divine, only to be abandoned by her own godhood. A life of isolation, followed by a haunting return to the world of men. And yet the tradition continues. Why? Because some secrets are too sacred to question. What happens when a goddess is forced to become human again? The question lingers. Is the Kumari truly an incarnation of the goddess, or merely a child trapped in a system beyond her understanding? The lines between faith and fear, divinity and control, blur. It is a tale that has persisted for centuries, whispered through generations, feared and revered alike. Scholars debate whether the practice empowers or imprisons the Kumaris. Some call it an outdated ritual, a relic of a bygone era. Yet, there are those who believe that breaking the cycle might anger the goddess herself, bringing untold misfortune, superstition, or reality. No one dares to test it. What happens to the Kumari after she steps down? Some find marriage difficult. An old belief claims that marrying a former Kumari brings misfortune. Others retreat into quiet anonymity, their past lives a ghostly shadow that follows them. And some still dream of the temple, the chants, the throne they once held. The world moves forward, technology advances, but the Kumari tradition stands still in time, a bridge between the mystical past and the uncertain present. Perhaps it is this mystery that keeps it alive, making us question our understanding of faith and destiny. And so, as another little girl sits upon the throne, eyes unblinking, lips unmoving, the cycle begins once more. Another goddess is born, and another story is waiting to be told.